Good afternoon, Quasar Markets Live. I've got him, Jim Batches, here for our Trade Pulse, showing off another win. Jim, how are you, man?
What's happening there, Steve? Always good to be with you.
Exactly. I love it. It has been a nutty week again in the markets. It just seems people just can't figure out which direction's up. But the platform you have, Trade Pulse, does do that. Does a very good job of that. I'm going to bring it right into the system because I think it's important to do that. And I'm going to get out of your hair here. Uh, have fun, man.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, it's been a crazy week. I think everybody's looking to get in at the most opportune time, and that's really what we're about. I think the market just kind of took a dip before we came on. But yeah, for anyone a little new to us, unfamiliar with Trade Pulse, we're an order flow analytic company. So really, what we do and what we provide is real time market flow data. We provide real time order flow data. We also provide our own AI driven signal to give even a further insight in how a stock may perform intraday. So, really our mission, our goal, we want to provide the most up to the minute, real time information so traders can make the most informed decisions for themselves and ultimately give them the best chance for investment success by getting in at the most opportune time. And that's really what we're about. So, like I said, got a cool example, wanted to pull up and really show everybody and really illustrate how you can best utilize our platform here. So here we go. So what you're looking at is for advanced micro devices, symbol AMD from yesterday, December 11th. Figured it'd be good to kind of show a full day's worth of trading and full day worth of data to really kind of show what our platform offers. So I'll go through the different data points here quickly just to help illustrate what we're looking at. You'll see the black line here on our graph. That is the stock price. So this updates minute by minute in real time on our platform. So you can track what the market's doing for any stock of your choosing. And you'll see this light blue line kind of running with it. That's what we call our large deal flow data. This is all the big money in the market for AMD today. And this is capturing really any order $100,000 or more. It's typically all your institutional type orders. And next, you'll see the red shade here facing down and some of this green shade on the right facing up. This is capturing the retail sentiment. So we call this our retail momentum data. So this is capturing the intraday sentiment on the retail side. The green shade that you see there is indicating more buying than selling. And the red shade, of course, more selling than buying on the retail side. Lastly, you see this vertical green bar here. This is that AI driven signal that I mentioned to you. So this is a bullish trend indicator that we provide. It's called our power inflow signal. This gets activated on our platform anytime we've detected a real significant shift in the order flow from negative to positive. So it's solely based on what we're seeing with the order flow, and it's essentially saying there's a very high likelihood the stock shall rise in the intraday in the near term following that signal. So again, it's a bullish trend indicator that we provide there. So looking a little deeper into this example from yesterday for AMD, first thing I want you to notice is the stock price, that black line. You can see it really dipped the first hour or so of trading, opened up around 215, came down around 210. So it was down around 2% just in the first half hour or so of trading. And you can see that corresponded with the red shade going pretty deep in the red there, indicating a lot of selling on the retail side. Also, that light blue line that we mentioned, the large deal flow data, you can see how much that was dipping as well. But then the power inflow signal came in around 10 a.m. Eastern. And what do you notice right around that signal and shortly then after is a real shift in the order flow. And that's what we're trying to pick up. And you can see that red shade really started to thin out a little bit and eventually turned to green throughout the rest of the day mostly. Similar deal with the institutional flow. You can see that light blue line, how it was ticking downward. Power inflow signal came in, and you can see a real reversal there. And it really trended upwards throughout the rest of the day as well. And sure enough, what do we see with the stock price? A real immediate spike following our signal and really lasted throughout the day. And you can see it really trended with the order flow on both the institutional and the retail side. And that's really the insight we're trying to provide because, anybody following AMD yesterday would have seen that the stock was down around 2% at the open. But with our signal, we were projecting a real shift in the order flow and ultimately the price. And if you got in shortly following that signal, if you got in around maybe 212, 213, somewhere in that ballpark, it got all the way up to, if you look, over 221. So could have made around a 4 or 5% gain just intraday yesterday, depending on when you got in and when you got out. But really, this I think is a good example of how important it is to be able to follow the order flow, understand where the market sentiment is, and really try to identify a bullish trend in the stock before the stock price itself reflects that. And that's really the edge that we're trying to provide to everybody.
Yeah, and it's also stocks that everybody's trading too as well. I'm looking at a few right now. Let's pull up Broadcom, AVGO. It got hit pretty hard today. Are we seeing some flow into AVGO?
Sure. Yeah, let's pull it up. So, this one you can see it didn't have the power inflow signal coming today, but
Okay.
it raises kind of the good point you kind of touched on is, for any stock on our platform, whether it has that power inflow signal we just touched on or not, you can pull up any stock and see what the order flow is for that stock. So if you wanted to make decisions, based on the order flow, you'd be able to do that. So looking at AVGO here, you see it opened up around 375. You can see how deep in the red the selling was on the retail side. You can see that light blue line as well was trending downwards, and ultimately the stock followed suit. So if anybody wanted, was bearish on AVGO based on the order flow, you could have sold at an opportune time as well. So we're
And
not
how
just
do
a
you
bullish.
know?
Mhm,
And how do you
mhm.
know if it's retail and how do you know if it's institutional?
Yeah, so that's all based on our algorithm and our back testing that we've done for our platform. So we've separated the order types that we monitor.
Mm,
So that red shade, ultimately through our testing, is picking up all the average investor type orders. And again, with that light blue line, that's typically anything $100,000 or more tends to be the institutional side of things.
okay.
Hedge funds, mutual funds, that type of deal. So that's really how we
So
separate it.
it looks like institutions are picking some of this up then here, huh?
Yeah, you can see there's been a little upward trend on it, and ultimately you can see the stock price has kind of leveled out a little bit since it's reversed itself. So that's
I
another way
love
to
it.
use our platform just by following the order flow. That's the info we're trying to provide.
I love it, Jim. All right, Trade Pulse. Everybody out there, get Trade Pulse. You all know how to get it. And Jim, we'll see you right back here next week, my man.
Looking forward to it. Can't wait. Thanks, Steve.